Observe well the GT3s before thee. At last Matt hath made an update, though it is but a battered steed. Matt still rejoices and claims it for his own. At this moment, Matt hath learned of the current state of the vehicle's frame. The structure hath suffered grievous damage. 'Tis said that a young maiden, filled with excitement, struck a tree by the roadside. Then the car fell into a river. Thus the engine bay was filled with river water and filth. Now Matt must determine, with his current abilities and without exceeding his budget, if he can restore this GT3 to S. This car! Matt hath already invested £140,000 into it. Such reckless driving methods have led Matt to form a bold idea. Thus, Matt sought the contact of the former owner. He inquired about the events that transpired. Though the previous owner claimed it was an error in operation that caused the accident, those who have seen the news would understand. At present, Matt hath briefly surveyed the current damage to the body. The structure is severely damaged. Inside the engine and the pistons, there is much river water and rust that must be dealt with. After such a long time, the rust-removing magic liquid can now be drained. Then the pistons and cylinders inside the engine must be inspected. If damaged, they must be disassembled and rebuilt. If there be damage, the engine must be entirely rebuilt. But dismantling and rebuilding this engine is a massive restoration project. Moreover, it requires much sophisticated equipment to aid the process. However, Matt has none of these tools to confirm his suspicions. Matt first seeks to remove the rust-cleaning liquid. Thus, Matt begins by extracting the rust removal fluid. This multi-purpose D40 is the rust remover Matt added in the previous episode. It is a powerful rust remover recommended by Dojwang, a truly formidable solution. At this moment, I feel a bit envious. Their method of repairing the car is truly impressive. Although the D40 has had some rust removal effect, it seems not very obvious. Inside the engine bay, there is still much stubborn rust. It has not been fully removed. This rust, Matt must find another method to clear it all. Look here closely. Matt places the camera deep into the engine and sees the top of the valve. The situation is not looking good. The rust has grown worse. There is also iron rust. Everyone who hears this wears a serious expression. If the rust at the valve position is not cleaned properly, then the engine will become very problematic. Not only will it lack power, but it will also consume more fuel and burn oil. This is what Matt is most concerned about right now. At present, this engine is considered to be scrapped. It needs a major overhaul. This also means that Matt will need around $40,000 to fix it. But Matt is hesitant. He does not want to dismantle the engine, but this problem must be solved. Matt now wishes to remove the cylinder head first. He will clean all the corners within his ability. He will dismantle everything he can, and then replace all the damaged parts. At Dojwang's workshop, they do not handle engine components. Matt must order a set. At this moment, Matt's heart feels extremely heavy. The engine's damage has exceeded his expectations. This is not the engine Matt had hoped for. If he wishes to restore it, he must dismantle it completely. And to fix it, he must tighten everything back. However, the intricacies of dismantling a Porsche engine are somewhat unfamiliar to Matt. He can only rely on the old man with the Rolex to operate it. But once the engine is repaired, the restoration of the GT3 RS's body structure will also be a serious issue. At present, Matt cannot acquire the parts needed for this vehicle. As a renowned influencer, Matt plans to mimic Dojwang's clever methods. He intends to seek help from netizens across the land to help him find parts for this car. And all of this for free. Do you understand? But there is another solution. Matt could try to purchase cut parts to cut off the damaged areas of the car body. and then weld them back together. But that would sever the front and rear of the body in one stroke. Here, any body issues can be solved by throwing money at them, and it would return to its factory condition. However, this method would exceed Matt's budget. To be honest, doing this would be a pure waste of time. Matt never imagined the damage would be so severe. Honestly, this is not the engine Matt had hoped for. But if he wants to repair it, he must disassemble it all. Thus, Matt has come up with a bold idea: to ship it back to England for repairs. This way, he would save a great deal of expense. Observe this frame. This is the second-hand Gt3 frame Matt bought at his hometown. With its addition, this car can now be restored. With this frame, it can finally be repaired. However, this frame has many small dents and scratches. Moreover, this frame is for left-hand drive. Such a frame cannot legally be driven on the roads in Germany. However, Matt is confident he can solve this problem. Before starting the repairs, Matt must clean up the damage marks on this frame. Matt's current idea is to dismantle this damaged Gt3 RS and strip it of all its parts. Then, along with the engine, he will pack it all up and ship it back to England. Then, he will restore it completely. This is the best method for now. Home. Back to the US. Thus, Matt and the others began to recover the useful parts from the body. The process of dismantling the vehicle. The process of dismantling the car. Matt himself is somewhat confused, for he is unsure whether the parts from the vehicle, once dismantled and shipped home, will truly be functional. At present, this remains an unknown issue. He can only place his hope in luck, given that most of the body's electrical modules have been submerged. They are essentially rendered useless. Moreover, the car's onboard computer has also been submerged. This small part is very expensive. Moreover, the battery and fuse modules are most certainly damaged. Matt still wants to take them all apart and then take them back. Anyway, it doesn't hurt to carry this extra weight. If left alone, some parts of the body are a bit tricky to disassemble. This thing is installed very covertly. Many of the electrical wires are connected together. This fuse has caused Matt trouble twice already. But Matt is still a bit unskilled at disassembling. This proves the force isn't enough. Now he uses a multimeter to test, to see if they make any beeping sounds when in contact. Yeah, that's okay. I said that. So I learned the pieces of blood. Because of that, I haven't protected anything in the cold. But Matt doesn't think so. He thinks the fuse here is fine. Then he didn't protect the other electronic components. In the event of an emergency, this means the other electronic components have great hidden risks. Although Matt isn't very detailed, his professional knowledge is still quite rich. This means electricity will pass through the fuse and keep transmitting to other electronic components. After the water immersion, these normally operating electronic components will almost certainly all be damaged. This means that the electronic modules of the vehicle's body are likely completely ruined. Furthermore, Matt currently cannot conduct any testing. He can only dismantle them all and then reassemble them. Only when he turns the key will he know the result. Upon this thought, Matt suddenly remembered. He still does not have the key to this vehicle. Thus, he video called the previous owner to inquire about the location of the key. The young man before him is the former owner of the GT3 RS. He ruined this GT3, but he has already purchased a brand new GT3 RS. Thus, Matt asked, "How many balls did you do at all?" "So on this car, I had about broke 200 something miles I wanted the day before. Got the guy I had in my top. Expecting heart, yeah, but we went on a drawer at it and I know the road. You know, kind of a decision going out there, but was it fast? Wasn't quite fast when you crushed that? We were going over the speed limit. Did you end up in the water? Oh my god, so that's how the car crashed. But what I wanted to know was whether the car was running when it went into the water. And if it was, it could be this even more damaged." After several minutes of video calling, Matt got the opportunity he wanted. This also means that the engine was running normally when it fell into the river. This means that this engine is highly likely to have blown a cylinder. Upon hearing this news, Matt felt like crying. How would he solve this problem? What do you have to say about this episode? You may leave your comments below. Thank you for watching. The turtle. The turtle just 'cause Nemo Jellyman. Because he was in with a jellyfish and I saw, oh jelly dude.
Xin chào mọi người ạ. Mọi người hôm nay đã đến cái video mà có cái anh Mát này, anh ấy sửa chữa cái chiếc Porsche Gt3 mà bị ngập nước này. Thì trong cái quá trình anh ấy tháo cái động cơ của cái chiếc xe này xuống thì anh ấy kiểm tra là nó đã bị ngập nước và nó đã bị ăn mòn rất là nhiều, và nó hỏng hóc rất là nặng rồi. Thì anh ấy quyết định anh ấy gọi điện cho một cái anh bạn của anh ấy để anh ấy đặt một cái chiếc động cơ mới hoàn toàn, còn có chiếc xe BMW thì để đặt được cái hộp số của cái động cơ và hộp số của cái xe này thì phải đợi trong quá trình vận chuyển rất là lâu. Thì trong khoảng thời gian đấy thì anh ấy đã tháo tất cả các chi tiết trên cái chiếc xe này xuống để sửa chữa và bảo dưỡng từ những cái con ốc cho đến những cái chi tiết nhỏ nhất cũng cần phải tháo rời ra. Và mọi người thấy hay thì hãy cho mình một lượt like và một lượt thích, một lượt đăng ký kênh để mình phát triển cái video mới. Chào mọi người.